Welcome to Planet Algo, where we discuss all things about the Algorand Network. Today we will be looking at Algorand Standard Assets, otherwise known as ASAs, which are standardized layer 1 technology on top of the Algorand blockchain. If you are not familiar with the term layer 1, please check out a video I did last Friday discussing layer 1 versus layer 2 technologies. I will link to it below. An example of an ASA would be a fungible token. An example that I'm sure you've heard of would be a non-fungible token, such as an NFT. NFT art has been very hot lately, with some pieces fetching over $1 million. However, let's start our journey into assets with the very basic, a fungible token. If we were to look at the Algorand Blockchain Explorer, we would see the Planet Algo Fungible Token. I created it this morning, about 42 minutes ago. It has a circulating supply of 10 million. What makes this fungible? Well, the fact that of those 10 million, every single one of these tokens are common, i.e. any one of these tokens can be exchanged for any other one. All the intrinsic, all the monetary value, of which there's none for this, is all exactly the same as any other one of these tokens. No token in this total supply is unique in any way, and this is what makes it fungible. If you were to have any Planet Algos, you could exchange it freely for anyone else with any other Planet Algos, knowing that your Planet Algos are literally of the same intrinsic value as theirs. This is on Mainnet. If you had seen some of my older videos, you would know that I did make this in testnet, but I've decided to add it live. And if you wanted to look it up, you could see it under the added assets under all. And it's right there. The important thing to note here is that over to the right on here, we have this 206580242. I want to bring this up because as the asset community starts to build out, you will start to see assets that have the same name. Planet Algo can be replicated. This PTL can even be replicated, but this unique identifier cannot be. You can see this identifier matches this identifier over here also. So how does this contrast to an NFT? Well, an NFT would be something that is not fungible. It's non-fungibility is what makes it unique. I.e., if you have a token that cannot be easily exchanged for any other token because it has some different intrinsic value or monetary value, then that token is not a fungible token. It is a non-fungible token. So an Algorand, you can make an NFT the very easy way, which would be you would restrict the supply to one. You would only have one of something and you would not be able to divide it into smaller units. This is the easiest way to look at NFTs. So for an example of artwork, maybe you would go ahead and put your link to your URL up here of the artwork, and then in the metadata field you could put a hash of the artwork that you were transferring. However, I do want to caution you, NFTs are not well defined across the blockchain community. If you were to go look at Ethereum right now, they're utilizing layer 2 technology to create their NFTs. And in fact, if you were to look at their NFTs, what they're doing is they're creating something like a Planet Algo token like this with a supply of more than one, and then they're using a contract to make each individual token non-fungible. The contract looks at something called a notes field. We also have this in Algorand too. When I go ahead and I created these tokens, there was a note added to it. And if I come down here in the editor, you can see it says, join the Planet Algo community and get a free token. And so on the Ethereum blockchain, they just restrict the fungibility of that token through the contract in that notes field. Now, I would like to point out that this could be also done on Algorand. And if you were to consider this an NFT or not, it's very debatable. However, remember, once again, that NFTs have not been hammered out into a standardized definition yet. So the final thing we want to cover today is adding an asset in the official Algorand wallet. To do such, you have to give approval to the Algorand blockchain to send you an asset. This is another feature that I just love. Nobody can send me an asset that I don't want. And if I do want one, I thus have to opt into it. So that I can do such by looking it up after hitting add new asset. And then once I have the asset I want to add, remember to check the ID over here on the right to make sure it's correct. You can click on it and it's going to ask you if you want to add the asset. To do this, you do have to send a 0 transaction, which means you do have to pay 0.001 algos. And you must have, whenever you add any asset on Algo, you must have a minimum of 0.1 algos in your account. Okay, with that, you can go ahead and you can hit approve. And then that tells Algorand that you are open to having a new Algorand asset. And so we can go ahead and see that the Planet Algo asset is here. Well, that wraps things up for today. If you like this video, please smash that like button and hit subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them for me down below. Have a great day.